welcome back for another video. I'm Eharbad, a free-to-play endgame player in Raid Shadow Legends, and today is episode 34 in the free-to-play challenge series for 2023. We've got the usual format of some images to go through, and we will include a little bit of gameplay in this video as well. I also wanted to take this opportunity to say that I think I'm going to give my inaugural attempt at streaming tomorrow night on the 28th of May. And essentially, I want to basically do my gear cleanse on this account, but I don't think it really works that well for a video format. So I thought maybe I'll jump in, do it as a stream. We'll go through, do the gear cleanse, and maybe just discuss a little bit more about the champions that I've built, how I've built them, and kind of where the account's going in a format that will work better in that kind of longer stream format versus these shorter videos. Before we go into the actual photos, one of the daily quests here is to win 3 dungeon battles. And basically, Dragon is the current live tournament, and we're able to stage 6 farm on hard. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do that. Right, jumping into the photos, we're back here a week ago. So this is just after the video I recorded last Saturday. Once I finished all the daily quests, that was the end of the monthly reset. So we get more shards, which is always nice. And then the next morning on the Sunday, I managed to do normal Hydra 1 key, which had been, for those of you who've been watching this series throughout, after we got the Ultra Nightmare clan boss on lockdown, the next most immediate goal I set myself was to be able to get Hydra normal 1 keyed. And I think I want to now kind of get to the point where I'm able to farm hard and normal and continue to progress in Doom Tower as much as possible. On the next image here, I just thought I'd include a little bit of a tag team. I saw this person's defenses, and I managed to get the 3 victories. I am fighting this all on full auto. I don't really have the time or the inclination right now to manually do all the fights whilst I'm still trying to run both accounts and all the rest of it. But I am looking at which team I line up against which defense and kind of just trying to manage it that way. Next up here, we have Faction War Undead Stage 7, a bit of a backfill. I put a little bit of gear on some of these champions now and able to go back and get the 3-star that I previously had not. Then here on the Sunday, a clan boss chest. We get a void shard. Like I said before, I'm just going to include the images where we get really either a void, a sacred, or a legendary tome. And here's the second image with the other chest that contained a legendary tome. Been pretty lucky on the old clan boss chest. Here is a PB for Ultra Nightmare. I have put Phantom Touch on Razelvarg at this point, so it's just adding that little bit of incremental damage. And then here, the tag team tournament finished, and essentially we managed to get some gems, which ultimately will translate into energy and will get us a little bit more progress on the account as and when we want to time those gems for maximum return. Typically with gem usage, I tend to do that either during CBC or when there's a good overlap of tournaments that I want to complete many of, which in fact this weekend is a good example. We've got a good champion training tournament going on, 4 days to get 13k points to get a legendary tome. There's also a dragon tournament and a dungeon divers. And I kind of feel like I'm going to end up using some gems to at least do the champion training plus some Minotaur, because I want to get a couple of champions masteries sorted. Might have to even use some gems to get the ascensions finished on those new 6 stars that I'll produce during champion training. And then I'll take a look at the dragon tournament and decide, is it going to be worth investing some gems there or not? And I think it probably would be a not. If there was a gear event going on, then I might consider using even more resources. Then here is a little bit more on the Faction Wars side. Managed to backfill stage 9, get the 3-star there as well, and 3-star stage 10, and get a 1-star on stage 11. Obviously, as we rank up these champions a bit further, if I get Husk to 6-star, Vogoth really probably to 6-star, who very strong for the account, really good pull. Gorgorab to 5-star. I think I'll then be in a pretty good position to potentially clear this all the way to stage 21. Here is on the Sunday. I wanted to include a few images from Arena because essentially this quartet I've found to be pretty strong for my account. We've got Razelvarg there as speed lead with the speed boost and pretty much the damage for the team. Brogni giving us, block debuffs and increase attack and generally a bit of protection from the shield. Skaramis there as a form of crowd control with that AoE provoke, and does, with the A2 there's a decrease attack plus reducing skill buff duration. Find him pretty useful in terms of controlling the enemy. And then obviously Deacon there, a little bit more TM control and a decreased defense. If I'm going against a team like this, usually I will win the speed race. I'll end up getting decreased defense on them and getting the provoke off. And then between Brogni and Razelvarg, I'm getting a decent amount of damage going on. And I've beaten a lot of these non-speed kind of tanky teams that are around the 200k power. I wouldn't go for better teams than that. But these kind of mid-tier defense teams, I've been finding good. I've been having good success at taking them down. So here's another image of a similar team, even with kind of protection champions such as Roshkard, because I've got two champions that can kind of to a degree strip buffs. I've got the Brogni and the Skaramis to at least kind of remove some buffs or decrease the duration of the buffs. I'm able to break through these kind of block damage or even like an unkillable team. And yet another example of one of these teams. This one even higher team power at 235k. So it's been pretty good, this team. I've been using it quite a lot throughout the week. And I wanted to include a few images back from last Sunday showing it in action. And then also on the Sunday, well actually now the Monday morning, I found myself in the promotion zone for Bronze 3 tag team. So essentially, we made it to Bronze 4, which I did say I thought would probably happen once we got Arbiter and Stag Knight built. But given that they're not properly built, they're only in sort of interim temporary builds and they definitely need some improvement. I was pleasantly surprised that we're able to do this, to be honest. Here's a bit of the log. So you can see we were attacked, not like a lot, but we were also able to win quite a few of the times we were attacked. And here's a little bit more. So there were some defeats, but some victories as well. And then if we look at the actual defense teams, that same concept in Team 1 that I showed in my classic arena team, but Rondo in place of the Deacon, using the Deacon in the second team. Really Deacon, Delaja and Aethel being the main trio there. And then Cronum's just kind of a bit of a filler. And then our fourth team, which currently in some ways is the weakest, but it is just a classic speed team, Cleave. We've got obviously Speed Lead and Speed Booster and Arbiter, drop defense in Stag Knight, bit of crowd control in Miscreated, and then the Nuka in Gembo. And I think these will continue to improve as we get better gear, as we rebuild our champions with that better gear and continue to build out our roster and have a few more kind of arena specialist champions. Delaja and Cronum particularly have absolutely no place in arena, but at the moment, mostly because Hycatoon is barely geared anymore, this is pretty much the best I can field. I then also on the Sunday went and did a few more of the secret rooms. I put a bit of focus on that. wanted to get as many fragments for Archmage Helmet as I possibly could before Doom Tower reset. Managed here to do Secret Room 9 on the normal side, which was Spirit Epic. Managed to do Secret Room 12 as well, which I'm pretty sure was Epic Magic Champions. And basically it was a miscreated Skaramis carry. The other three basically don't have gear on. Gorgorab has a little bit of gear, but Creodan and Seeker have none. And then the Finite tournament also finished on the Sunday. We managed to get a placement once more, get a bit of energy return there. And on the Champion Chase, didn't go for the second Legendary Tome in the end, so I didn't pull either Drexar or buy Ancient Shards for gems. I decided we were too far away. It wasn't really going to necessarily be worth it. I wouldn't necessarily even have achieved the second legendary tome with 900 gems. And to be honest, it will come. It will come in time. And then on the Monday, is this? I think it's the Monday. We had a spider tournament begin, and I decided, well, you know what? I think we should try and progress a bit further in Spider. We'd been farming stage 20 for quite a while. I think since 80 days into the account or something, maybe even a bit sooner. I'd have to go back and double check, but we had been doing it for a while, and it felt like now was a good opportunity to see how much further we could push. So stage 21 got beaten, then stage 22 got beaten, and then stage 23 got beaten. You will notice that I'm slightly varying the team each time, and that's based on the affinity we're coming up against, trying to make sure that I have a decrease attack champion, so either Skaramis or Stag Knight, trying to keep obviously Chronum and Miscreated as a duo that are very strong, and they'll be there throughout. Typically I will include Brogni as well, and then Jamasa, particularly when Chronum is negative affinity, I will bring her in. Equally, stage 24 beaten here, and actually quite a quick time, to be honest. And then stage 25, we managed to win again. I did bring Jamasa back here. It's starting to get quite challenging, shall we say, and I prefer to at least have a revive in the team just to make it consistent, really. I then went over to the hard side and thought, well, let's just give it a go. I don't know how far we'll be able to get. We don't have really big nukers built yet. But, Razelvarg's been doing a lot of work in Clan Boss and has obviously 2 AoE abilities. So I felt like we'd probably get a level or 2 out of Spider's Den on the hard side. So we did stage 1 and we did stage 2. And I didn't want to push my luck, so I didn't go any further than stage 2, but I did end up farming stage 2 for the entirety of the spider tournament. So here's a example of a bit of overnight spider farming that went on, 100%, so not too bad. I don't know why the average time of the run says it's so high, because it isn't. Like, if we go back, you can see it isn't, but whatever, doesn't really matter. But I did beat Spider stage 2 on the hard side, and maybe we'll try and push a bit further. I think once Husk is built, we'll be in a strong position to push a lot further. And then this is the 24th, so it'll be the Tuesday or the Wednesday. Must be the Wednesday, I think. During CBC, we got the Artak. So obviously that overnight spider farming was during CBC. It was on the Tuesday overnight into the Wednesday. On the Wednesday, we got our hands on Artak. We did go and do a bit of a Great Hall improvements, spent our 900 medals, went and booked out Creodan, and went and booked out Artak. Then in Clan Boss, we were rewarded with another Sacred, which is becoming a bit crazy. Our luck has been pretty wild since we got on to Ultra Nightmare. it won't last, but we might as well embrace it whilst we can. And then got a new PB on Ultra Nightmare, breaking the 30 million. I do think when we rebuild this clan boss team and include Farrakhan, which potentially we'll do on the stream tomorrow, maybe. Then the end of CVC here. This is now actually Friday morning. I didn't really include anything from Thursday. There wasn't much to note, really. CVC, we did lose. We had a really tough matchup again. A level 14 clan with 31 wins. It's just, it's a bit brutal, isn't it? Here's the performance of the clan. I think we all did pretty strong. It's a good, good spread of points from everyone, but we're just coming up against clans that it's just not fair. It's not balanced, but it is what it is, and we managed to do our milestone reward, so that's all good. I then got the bunny 2-star soul in the shop. It's actually funny because the shop window before this one, the refresh just before, it had Artak and Creedon level 1 souls in. And I was very much on the fence. Should I pick up the level 1 for the 2 of those, or should I stick to my plan and get the Razelvarg rank 2 soul, which was in my mind that I wanted to do? And I ended up deciding I'd stick and get the Razelvarg. You might be looking at this image and saying, well, you only have 1 essence, and you're not wrong. But we can buy 59 with our tier 2 coins, which we've been collecting through all the tournaments and events. They occasionally throw in 200-300 coins here and there. And any opportunity I can get those coins, I'm trying to, because for me at the moment, it's my best route to essences, which is my best route to getting blessings on my champions. So Razelvarg has the 2-star, which gives him an extra 500 attack, which will really improve his damage in all areas of the game where I use him. Then this is last night as well. This is on the Friday. Doom Tower reset. I did unfortunately not get a screenshot of the end performance of Doom Tower on the normal side. I did want to do that. I think I cleared 7 secret rooms on the normal side, and I wanted a screenshot to show what I had done so we could compare it next time we get the rotation, but I forgot basically. But I have shown all the individual secret rooms as I cleared them, and potentially I can go back and look through my screenshots, and maybe we'll do that at some point. In any case, new Doom Tower. I started on the normal side, auto climb rather, up to floor 10. I then tossed in a duo to try Dreadhorn just as duo initially. Managed to get that done, just brute forced it, to be honest. And also cleared Secret Room 1. Also, yesterday, we had day 127 login. Obviously, we created the account. It was more like 137 or 135 days ago. I'm not sure the exact number, but I had that break whilst I was traveling for holiday, where I didn't log into the game or play it at all. So I'm on day 127 as of yesterday. And just during the day, I delayed getting the login bonus so I could use it in the evening when I actually had time to burn that 650 energy. I'd also decided I'd delay it a few hours just because we had a champion training event starting, and I didn't want to use it, before the champion training had started. And I also didn't want to be over capped on the energy. So when I did log in the morning, I, force closed the game a couple of times until when I opened it, we went to an offer instead. And then I collected the daily login reward in the evening rather than the morning, which is just a little finesse that you can do to really maximize those energy login days. Then here is a image of me clearing Barbarian Crypt stage 18. I do think we actually have the team to clear stage 21, but Haikatoon doesn't actually have all her gear on, and Farrakhan has 0 gear on and hasn't got the mastery set yet. So I think once we've done that, we'll probably be in a position to actually clear up to stage 21. And hopefully we'll have some time this weekend to kind of do the big re-gear across the account that's required to get to that point. I want to rebuild the clan boss team. That will include Farrakhan. I then also want to rebuild Arbiter and a few other champions, and then we can, give High Katoon whatever's left over and be in a better position to kind of make a big push on the faction war side. Then the other champion training that ended yesterday, the one that was overlapping with CBC, I didn't get the placement I wanted. I would have wanted either 3rd or 7th. Ideally, I probably would have been quite comfortable with 4th as well because it's 6-star relentless. But it wasn't to be, you can't always manage to get the placement you want. But it's okay. We ended up 5th. We did the work we wanted to on the champions we wanted to farm up, and we got a good score during CBC. So yeah, it's fine. This morning, we're now nearly finished on the image review. This morning I went and finally beat Sand Devil Stage 6. I did have to kind of manual it. This team isn't really equipped to do it properly. It's not a great affinity. It's a 4th stage, which is definitely a bit problematic for my very magic heavy account. But having got that done meant that I could go and beat stage 7 shortly after. I don't think I actually have an image of stage 7 being beaten, to be honest, but I did beat it. We have a bit more Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss Bonanza, another sacred from Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, followed up by yet another sacred. The crazy luck in the last month continues. And then I went to the hard side of Doom Tower, cleared up to stage 9. Floor 9 was a defeat, but I then reran it again full auto, and it was able to be cleared. Here, lastly, is a potential bunny rebuild. I do want to transition a few champions to Stalwart and Guardian, because I think that's going to give me the best opportunity to progress even further in Clan Boss and get more damage. And this seems to be a pretty good overall build for Razzlevarg. Just a little sneak peek of what we might be trying to do. Right, so that's all the images. If we jump back out, we're in the game, and actually our stages, stage 6 hard, it's all been cleared during that time. In fact, we just got a new fastest time as well. That is not too bad. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the video. I do want to just go through a few things. Like I said, Farrakhan not done yet. We know that we have Razzlevarg I want to put in a Stalwart set. I'm thinking now that I have a bit more Guardian, because I've forged quite a lot of Guardian during the CVC, we might be able to move probably Rhonda to Guardian. And we have a little look at the Guardian gear itself. We've actually got quite a few pieces that are actually pretty good. There's a number of pieces here that we could definitely be using. This one could work, we're not sure, but not terrible. Another option here. And you just, as we keep going, like, this is a good piece. There's quite a lot of pieces, quite a lot of options. Less so once you get out of the top row. But we only need 4 pieces, and I do have a few decent bottom row pieces. Like this one is pretty nice. So I think I'll be able to put at least 1 champion in Guardian, maybe 2. And I know I can get Bunny into Stalwart. Maybe I'll have enough Stalwart left over to get a second champion in. Again, if we have a quick look at what Stalwart gear we've got, a few pieces. Not too many. I think it's going to be a bit more difficult. I think most of the best pieces will be used straight away by Razzlevarg, and there probably won't be too much left over. It is what it is. I think we're progressing pretty well overall. I'm pretty happy with the progress. I do want to jump in and try and see if I can get a little bit further on these faction wars today. The big issue being that I still don't actually have any gear on Vogoth, but I have got him to rank 5. Husk, still no gear, but it's 4-star 40, so can get ranked up to level 5 or to rank 5 pretty soon. Beyond that, I do have enough food to make one more 6-star, and it's either going to be Creodon or Artak, and then I've got 2 more food ready. So if I get another 3 during this champion training, I'll be able to get them both to 6-star, which will be my intention, because we still need like 8,500 points. So I'm pretty confident I'll end up with 2 6-stars during this period. And lastly, if we go to the Doom Tower, I need to give this a go. I don't think I can do it, but I wanted to clear out both sides. I started on the normal, got that cleared to stage 10. And then I thought I'd try and see if I could do anything on hard. So at least I know I'm able to use all my silver keys each day and finish my advanced quest, because I can do that on the normal side. But on the hard side, yeah, it's going to be a problem. I do think these 2 champions will help. We have a decent chance to freeze on an AoE basis from Creodon, plus a freeze on the A1, which will be really helpful for the bombs. And then I was also thinking, if I get a little bit more levels up, we've got the Vogoth, if I get him to like level 50, 5-star 50, and maybe put him in a bolster set potentially. So I was thinking something like bolster set there, basic kind of high health, high accuracy, high speed kind of support build for Creodon, potentially probably Artak, then probably Jamasa, and then who else can maybe Delaja gives us a heal and a decrease attack. Maybe we don't want Artak, to be honest, but something like this with someone else in that last slot, I think this potentially would work. Maybe Doom Priest just to give a bit more healing. I think the healing is my main concern. But I think for me to be able to try this, like I said, need to do a bit more work on these champions here. But this was kind of what I was thinking. If we assume we don't have those 2 champions, we could try the revive route on that, and we could maybe try Brockney. Yeah, it's tricky. We can give it a go just for the fun of it, but I don't think it's going to work. I think we need more resistance if we want to do that. Let me just full auto the first wave. But there's some ideas on how I might be able to beat it, but it will require me to probably finish the big re-gear that I've been talking about, and probably rank up Creodon and Vogoth, to be honest, to at least max 5-star 50, if not potentially both of them to 6-star, given the level of gear that we've generally got. What I'll do is I'll let it play out. I don't want to bore you with watching it, and maybe we'll come back when I get to the boss. Right then, at this point, I'm going to take it off auto and just use my abilities manually, get myself everything off cooldown for the time we go through the boss, and then we'll see what we can do. But I'm expecting not to be able to clear the boss just yet. I think we're going to need some slightly different champions. Like I said, really, Vogoth and Creodon, I think, would be sufficient to do it. But it would be good to see just how far we are. It's really the bombs that are going to be a problem. Like, we've got no way to deal with them. In with an A1. Let the boss go. Didn't want to bomb really on Jamasa though, to be honest. Slight problem with the interaction there. Cronum and Jamasa. Just about survived. If she dies here to the bomb though, we're toast. Anyway, let's see if Cronum can solo it. Which obviously would be ideal. I'm trying to get quite a few stacks up. No. I mean, not awful. Could maybe do something with Cronum as lead. But I think we'll leave it there for the video. I will try that a little bit, but I think in the long run, it's going to be Vogoth and Creolin who's going to, freezing the bombs is going to decrease the damage they do. Vogoth will help us keep alive through his passive, and the combination of those two champions should kind of give us a good opportunity to progress pretty far through Dreadhorn on the hard side. I feel like we could probably definitely beat floor 10 and probably even be able to beat floor 50 with two champions in play. As always, thanks for watching. Anyone who's made it this far, I really appreciate you watching these long videos. And, just like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you not only in the next video, but potentially in that stream tomorrow. So as always, bye for now.